Hey guys, it's me, Eddie. Remember Eddie Wu, that maths teacher guy? If you got a sec, I wanted to talk to you about Australian citizenship. But before I do, I just wanted to loop in some of my friends. Just hold on.
Australian citizenship means a lot to me. It means diversity, it means inclusion, and of course it means acceptance.
For me, citizenship means being part of a big, growing, multicultural team that values men and women equally and respects our difference.
What being an Australian citizen means to me is that you are now living in a country that is home to the oldest surviving cultures in the world.
To me, being Australian is about having the courage to give things a go, and also to be inclusive and give everyone a go.
What does it mean to be Australian? Care for each other, care for our children.
Being Australian to me is about respecting each other, no matter who you are or where you've come from.
Australians believe in equality, fairness and freedom, and we also like to have fun.
The values that Australians share is the fact that we are all the same. There is no race, as I say, apart from the human race.
Australia is enriched by new citizens by the fact that they bring new meaning, new culture and a new element to what we call being an Australian in contemporary Australian society.
With every new citizen, our beautiful, rich diversity grows even bigger.
There is nothing more wonderful than watching the children of Australia from so many different backgrounds, dreaming of what their future is going to be.
My message to all our new Australians is to soak it up. We are in a beautiful country that has so much privilege.
And learn all you can about the richness of all Indigenous Australian cultures.
Show respect and care for all Aussies.
Give to our children so they can create the new Australia.
Explore this vast and beautiful country and be adventurous.
Let's use Australian citizenship to show the world we're united.
Wow guys, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Australian citizenship, it really is amazing. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Barry Whitehead, and it's my great pleasure to be your MC for today's proceedings. Welcome, everyone, to Latrobe City Council's Australia Day Citizenship Ceremony, being held here today at Kernot Hall. Although COVID restrictions limit the number of attendees in the hall today, we are delighted to be able to broadcast today's ceremony via the internet, and a very warm welcome to those of you watching by that means. I'd like to acknowledge that we're meeting here today on the traditional land of the Brayakalong people of the Gunai-Kurnai Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present. I would also like to acknowledge other elders present with us today. Also in attendance today, Mr Russell North, the member for Morwell, Councillor Sharon Gibson, the Mayor of Latrobe City, Councillor Darren Howe, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Melissa Ferguson, Councillor Brad Law, Councillor Kelly O'Callaghan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen and children. We also have apologies today from Councillor Dale Harriman, Councillor Dan Clancy, Councillor Tracy Lund, Councillor Graham Middlemiss, and Mr Steve Piacenti, who's the CEO for Latrobe City. They are not able to be with us here today, but I'm sure that they're also watching online. We are here today to welcome 8 new citizens who will become our newest Australian citizens. Our candidates today come from around the world, representing the following countries: Canada, Malaysia, South Africa, Cambodia, the Philippines, and the United Kingdom. Now, usually at this point in proceedings, we invite the First Traralgon Scouts to lead the conferees into the hall, bearing the flags of each of their nations. Unfortunately, again, due to COVID restrictions, we're not able to do that today. However, the flags of the countries of origin of all of the conferees are displayed here in the hall today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my very great pleasure to introduce to you and welcome to the stage the Mayor of Latrobe City, Councillor Sharon Gibson, to deliver her Australia Day welcome. Please welcome Sharon.
Thank you, Barry. Good morning and happy Australia Day. I would like to acknowledge that we are meeting here today on the traditional land of the Kernot people and pay our respects to their elders past and present, and any elders here present today, welcome. I would also like to welcome distinguished guests, Russell North, you moved. Member for Morwell, my fellow councillors, Councillor Darren Howe, Deputy Mayor, Councillor Brad Law, and our other councillors are running a little bit late. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is a pleasure to attend citizenship ceremonies, and especially so on our National Day. Today, we recognise that our new citizens have not only chosen Australia to be their new country of residence, but have also chosen Latrobe City as the place they will now call home. I'm always humbled when watching the joy of our newer citizens' faces as they make their pledge to Australia. It is a privilege to welcome these new Australians who will enhance the cultural fabric of our regional city. You may think that citizenship ceremony represents the final step in your journey for many new Australians. However, it is actually the start of your new journey. And for those online, I'm sorry, I'm looking at our soon-to-be new citizens while I'm speaking. Your new journey starts with us, our valley, our home. I'm known to visit multicultural groups across Latrobe City, and what a delight it is. Often at these events, dishes have been lovingly prepared and brought to be shared. It is an eye-opener for me as I discover the different tastes of national dishes from so many countries. The tastes and flavours are also varied, and I can tell you from first-hand experience that some of the food is really hot, some is very sweet too. It is a true delight on the taste buds, not so much on the waistline. When I attend these events, it brings back childhood memories. I had an Italian uncle, and from him I learnt the joys of garlic, wine, and authentic pasta dishes. Not what we know as spag bowl, but the true Italian way of making the dish with gravy beef, and how it would melt in your mouth, and it still does if you cook it right. I treasure those memories. When I cook, the aroma of the onion and the garlic in the olive oil simmering, it brings all those memories back. By living together, we learn from one another's experience and grow closer to understanding each other. Through being open and showing respect, we can learn to embrace everyone in our community. The cultural fabric of our regional city is made up from all walks of life. To our new citizens, I wish you all the very best on your journey as Australians. Thank you for calling Latrobe City home.
Thank you, Mayor, for your very warm welcome and very poignant welcome. To assist with today's proceedings in the citizenship ceremony, I'd like to invite to the stage the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Darren Howe, and also our Latrobe City Youth Mayor, Natasha Murcott. Please make them welcome. Welcome. On Australia Day, we come together as a nation to celebrate what is great about living in this country and what we love about being Australian. It's a day to reflect on what it means to be Australian, whether it is by birth or by choice, what we have achieved and what we can be proud of in our great nation, our home. We celebrate the characteristics and values that make us proud to call ourselves Australian citizens. Our people, our land, our diversity, our equality, our freedom and democracy, and our sense of a fair go for all. Australian citizenship ceremonies are an important part of Australia Day celebrations, and this ceremony is one of many being held around the country today. Today marks a special and important step in the lives of each of you conferees, and for those sharing this occasion with you, because today you will become Australian citizens. By the end of today's ceremony, we will have welcomed 8 new citizens to our Australian family. I congratulate all conferees for the commitment you have made to being part of Australia's future. I would now like to invite the Mayor, Councillor Sharon Gibson, to deliver the Australia Day Citizenship Address from the Honourable Alex Hawke MP, Minister for Immigration, Citizenship, Migrant Services and Multicultural Affairs. Thank you.
Today I have the pleasure of reading the message from the Honourable Alex Hawke MP, Minister for Immigration, Migrant Services and Multicultural Affairs. Today you become an Australian citizen. We are immensely proud of what we have achieved as a nation, and we welcome you in joining us. Our history and culture has been forged over thousands of years, first through Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and more recently with people from all corners of the earth. Australia has succeeded as a nation by embracing and defending our national values. We believe in the freedom and dignity of each individual, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and freedom of association. We value the rule of law, democracy, and equality of opportunity for all people. We stand with other democracies in helping to defend and protect these hard-fought freedoms. We are a resilient nation. Drought, bushfires, floods, and a global pandemic have challenged our normal way of life. Our social cohesion, a key strength of Australia, has never been more important. Upon taking the pledge of commitment today, I call on you to embrace these values and the rights and responsibilities of Australian citizenship and play an active part in your local communities to build an even stronger nation. On behalf of the Australian Government, I truly congratulate you on reaching this special day. From Alex Hawke.
Thank you, Mayor. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Councillor Darren Howe, Deputy Mayor, to commence today's citizenship proceedings.
Thanks, Barry. Today, 26th of January 2021, the Australian Government will mark 72 years since the Australian citizenship was introduced into law, creating for the first time a legal status of being uniquely Australian. For 72 years, citizens have been working together to build a strong, united and prosperous Australia. All citizens commit to Australia and its people, working together to increase the prosperity of our nation. In 2021, we celebrate the diverse stories of our citizens, the values that we share and the history that we will create together. Welcome to today's Australian citizenship conferees and to their families and friends who are here to support you and witness this important milestone on Australia Day. Today's ceremony is one of the many ceremonies that are being held around the country as part of the Australia Day celebrations. Becoming an Australian citizen is the step up that shows loyalty to Australia and a desire to share a common future. This ceremony today will see 8 people stand up before their friends and family and pledge their loyalty to Australia. It is an honour to confer Australian citizenship to people who appreciate and value our society so much that they wish to become one of us and make Australia their home. I warmly congratulate our citizenship conferees today for taking the final step in their journey to become Australian citizens. I look forward to seeing the contribution that each of you will make to Australia and in particular make to Latrobe City. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and I'd now like to invite the Mayor, Councillor Sharon Gibson, as the presiding officer for today's ceremony, to read the citizenship preamble.
The preamble to the Australian Citizenship Act reads as follows. Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the community of the Commonwealth of Australia. And Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. Persons on whom Australian citizenship is conferred enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations by pledging loyalty to Australia and its people, by sharing their democratic beliefs, by respecting their rights and liberties, and by upholding and obeying the laws of Australia.
Thank you, Mayor, and we now move to the official part of the ceremony, and I'll be inviting the conferees to come to the stage in 4 groups of 2. For those of you who are familiar with citizenship ceremonies here at Kernot Hall on Australia Day in the past, we're slightly different this year given the limitations of restrictions under health advice in relation to COVID. So you will notice a slight difference where there is no contact between us and the conferees. Nonetheless, we are ensuring that they still observe and enjoy the full benefit of a citizenship ceremony. So it's my great pleasure to invite to the stage the first group, Mr. Patrick Connolly and Mrs. Elizabeth Georgeson.
Okay, repeat after me, but when I say I, you say your name. I, from this time forward under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey.
Congratulations. Now, the rest of our conferees who have seen how the process works, you will be very smooth in completing that part of the operation. And it's now my great pleasure to welcome to the stage the next group, Mr. Kevin Jefferson and Mrs. Beverly Kiter.
heard how we do. I, from this time forward under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey.
Congratulations. I can't help but remark that our Mayor would have made a lovely television host back in the 70s, pointing out the gifts that were on offer for the contestants. You're doing a great job, Mayor.
I did say it's like Sale of the Century.
Exactly. It's now a great pleasure to invite the third group to the stage, Mr. C. Loy and Mr. Dirk Nell.
We've got the drill. I, from this time forward under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Congratulations. And how good is that? You didn't even read that.
Congratulations. And it's a pleasure to introduce our final group of conferees, Mrs. Marina Legg and Mrs. Mary Porter.
I, from this time forward, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey.
Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations again to all of our conferees and a very warm welcome as Australian citizens. And usually at this point I invite the audience to endorse that with 3 cheers. Our audience today is a little bit lighter than what we're used to in Kernot Hall, so you're going to have to cheer extra loud. And I also invite the viewers at home to join in with the 3 cheers. So would you join with me? 3 cheers for our new Australian citizens. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Well done, congratulations. Thank you. Now that we have all witnessed Australia's newest citizens make their public pledge of commitment, we would like to invite everyone to participate in an Australian citizenship affirmation ceremony. The Australian Citizenship Affirmation was introduced in 1999 and is becoming an integral part of Australia Day celebrations. The words of the affirmation are based on the pledge we have just witnessed that our new citizens make. Participation is voluntary and carries no legal status. Participating in an affirmation ceremony is a means of expressing our pride in being Australian and provides an opportunity to affirm our loyalty to Australia and its people. Everyone is welcome to participate. Non-citizens are invited to join in the affirmation at the second line. And it's a great pleasure to lead you in the affirmation, to invite to the microphone and welcome Latrobe City Youth Mayor Natasha Murcott. Thanks, Natasha.
Thank you. The words of the affirmation can be found as projected on the back screen. Again, everyone is welcome to participate. Non-citizens are invited to join in the affirmation at the second line. So, if you would like to take part, I invite you to stand now. Would you please stand and say with me? As an Australian citizen, I affirm my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I uphold and obey.
Thank you. You may remain standing. Thank you very much, Natasha, for your participation in today's ceremony. And the reason I'm asking you to remain standing is I invite you all to join in the national anthem. And please acknowledge the change to line 2 from "We are young and free" to "We are one and free." The Australian national anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. And I'd like to acknowledge and thank Jazz Flowers, a local artist, for performing the national anthem for us. Well, that concludes the formalities for this citizenship ceremony. Please join me once again in congratulating our newest Australian citizens. Well done to you all and welcome. And in closing, I'd like to thank the Mayor, Councillor Sharon Gibson, for presiding over the Australian citizenship ceremony, Deputy Mayor Councillor Darren Howe, and the Latrobe City Youth Mayor Natasha Murcott for assisting with today's ceremony. And to all our other distinguished guests in attendance, thank you for being part of today's citizenship ceremony, and to all of the ladies and gentlemen that have come along today. Thanks also to our people viewing via the internet, and we invite you to join us again at 1:30 for the Latrobe City Australia Day Awards ceremony. Enjoy the rest of your Australia Day, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your attendance.